Welcome everybody to another episode of Dummies on the Hardwood. I got Isaac and Benny, three dudes giving our own unfiltered thoughts and opinions on topics and storylines surrounding the NBA. First of all, we want to wish you guys a very belated but Merry Christmas. And Merry Christmas to the Los Angeles Lakers because they received Dorian Finney-Smith and Shake Milton. The Lakers gave up D'Angelo Russell and 3 first-round picks. And don't forget Maxwell Lewis and Maxwell picks and second-round picks. But before we go into the Lakers Christmas, we're going to also talk about the Warriors and Celtics' recent skids, Luka's injury, and Mike Brown's firing. So, fellas, let's hop right into this. Before we do, you guys have any shout-outs?
I have a shout out to my bae. She got us this little ball. So now we're going to have the pass the rock. So whoever has the rock has the right to speak. Thank you, bae, for this. I don't think, no, I'm good. Anyways, by the way, that was a very bad intro. You had to freaking say Merry Christmas to the Lakers. Really? That was really bad. Okay. So anyways, whoever has this can speak. Whoever doesn't can't speak, and so on and so forth.
Share the rock, baby. Share the rock.
Shout out to bae. Thank you. I love you.
Thank you for everyone who's been supporting us. Continue to support us. Show us some love. Show us we're on all platforms: TikTok, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Apple Podcasts. Show the love. We appreciate it. Thank you. Continue the love. Anyways, the Lakers today, early this morning, made a trade in which they traded D'Angelo Russell, Maxwell Lewis, and 3 second-round picks to the Brooklyn Nets for
Who the hell is Maxwell Lewis?
Dorian Finney-Smith, and 3 second-round picks.
Who the hell is Maxwell Lewis?
You never heard of Maxwell Lewis? He's in the Lakers G League. He came from Pepperdine. Yeah, he's a second-year player. Yeah, Pepperdine. Yeah, he just needed more time, but I think he's going to get his opportunity with the Brooklyn Nets. Anyways, what are you guys' reactions? Before I give you my reaction. It goes back to what I've been saying earlier. The Lakers really needed this trade to happen. They needed to make a move. They needed a 3-and-D wing. I've been saying this to all you guys. They needed to make this move. I think they got their guy, Dorian Finney-Smith, shooting 41% from the field. I mean, look, let's keep it real. The D'Lo experiment was failed. It failed. Luckily, granted, he did help them in their first year. He brought them to the Western Conference Finals. What do you mean it failed? It didn't work out. It didn't pan out as expected, because obviously the first time he came around, he was immature. We got drafted. The second time around, he came in, he matured. Makes sense. So from that standpoint, it was failed. But at the same time, wish him all the best in Brooklyn. I'm sure he'll do great. He that's where he truly blossomed, in Brooklyn. Maxwell Lewis, he's going to get his opportunities to start. But I think the real winners are for the Lakers, man. I mean, they got what they needed. They needed that 3-and-D wing, someone to hold down the pick, because street clothes Vando ain't doing shit, know? And the Lakers, I forget to mention, also received Shake Milton, a solid bench piece. The Lakers ranked in the bottom half of the league in terms of bench production. So I think Shake Milton's going to provide that extra spark plug off the bench. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the Lakers won this trade. I mean, there's really nothing else that needs to be said. What's understood doesn't need to be explained. I don't think that this is it for them. I think it was a really great move. Like I said, street clothes Vando is next, and so is Gabe Vincent. So, what do you got to say, Isaac?
It's a good trade. You guys got 3-and-D, like Benny said. You guys got more 3-point shooting. Shake Milton, I feel he's not talked about enough. He's a really good 3-point shooter, shooting about 38% from 3. 38% more than Gabe Vincent. So that'll be a nice replacement. My only concern is they're not really on the young side. This is kind of, in a way, I feel is like a win now move, because Dorian Finney-Smith he's going to be 32 at the end of the year. Shake Milton, I think he's like 30-ish. So the only thing is like the age gap.
To your point, I want to bring that point before you stole the rock. I agree with you on that standpoint. What direction are the Lakers going? What direction are they? Answer my question. What direction are they? I already mentioned you brought up the best, probably a really good point, but yeah, this is a short-term move. Let's make no doubt about it. It's a win now move. LeBron James is 39. AD's almost 32. He'll be 32 this year. Lakers needed to make a move in order to continue LeBron's quest for a championship. Now, is this move needle breaker? It moves the needle slightly, but I just think what the Lakers need to do is make another trade and get a defensive-minded center, or go after an offensive-minded center more like Jonas Valanciunas.
I know you did not say quest for a championship this year in the same sentence as LeBron after one move. They can compete.
The bottom line is, when you got LeBron James on your team, you're competing for championships. That's the bottom line. I didn't say they were going to win it. I just said it's a quest for LeBron's championship. What answer the question? What direction are they going with? They're winning now, right? They're winning now. That's their direction.
Okay, what seeding are they? Where are they ranked?
They're fit.
Okay,
They're fit.
I realistically don't see the Lakers getting past the number 3 seed. That's just my opinion. I think they're a solid number 3 seed. The Dorian Finney-Smith trade, it does help the Lakers out defensively, as well as their 3-point shooting, because their 3-point shooting has been okay. But Dorian Finney-Smith gives what the Lakers sorely needed. But again, like, what direction are we going? Is he a short-term rental or a long-term?
We just answered.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Did we just answer that question?
I'm just saying.
A little bit. Well, here's another thing that I forgot to point out. As much as D'Lo was inconsistent, you kind of lose more offense on that end. You lose another shot creator, and DFS is good, but he's more of a catch and shoot guy. Shake Milton is just like catch and shoot, and he can create his shot a little bit, but D'Lo averaged like about double-digit points. That's the thing.
Mark my words, D'Lo gonna put up a slight 25 in Brooklyn. You mark my words, D'Lo's gonna put up 25 in Brooklyn.
He had his breakout year over there. Just keep that in mind.
Well, he gonna have a breakout year out there in Brooklyn. 25 points for D'Lo this year when he leave. Bottom line is, I think the Lakers won this trade with receiving DFS and Shake Milton. The Lakers really definitely needed a 3-and-D wing, somebody to take the load off LeBron, because the Lakers were abysmal guarding the perimeter, and they're abysmal right now in the paint. The Nets received D'Lo and Maxwell Lewis. D'Lo's hopefully, like Benny said, I think he might have a career revival out there a little bit. Maxwell Lewis, sad to see him go, but we didn't really see him play. He was mostly with the G League, with the South Bay Lakers. So best of luck to Maxwell Lewis. By the way, shout out to Pepperdine Waves. Maxwell Lewis was a former Pepperdine Wave, and 3 second-round picks. And the Nets, by the way, have 31 picks.
That shit's crazy.
From the Schroeder trade and now this trade.
Damn you, I was about to say that. Another thing is, you guys are below the second apron now. So you guys are first apron team. You guys can go for the buyout market now, which is a sneaky move that you guys can do. So you guys also, I think you have 1 roster spot open.
That is correct.
So that's another thing. You created a roster spot. You got 2 quality players, and you have an open roster spot for possible buyout. So that's a solid win. The Lakers did win this trade, but 31 picks. But let's see what they can do with that.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, let's see what the type of players the Brooklyn Nets take.
How many more wins does DFS and Shake Milton bring to LA?
Probably another +3, +4.
That's fair.
Yeah, I would say around 4 or 5, in my opinion. Like I said, it's a good move, but I mean, like, it's not a needle breaking move. I just think the Lakers need to make one more move, and that move has to be for the center position. That's just my honest opinion.
Do we have any more thoughts on that?
No more thoughts, but what I do have thoughts on are Luka's injury. Luka Doncic is out for a month with that calf strain. Isaac, what are your thoughts on that, man?
Like, more or less 50% worried, 50% not worried.
What's the 50% not worried?
We're deep. Obviously, it showed when we beat Phoenix the other night.
You guys said you're deep? Isaac, Najee Marshall got suspended, bro. Najee Marshall got suspended. Although I'll shut the rock in a little bit, but we just got to clear some things out here, bro. PJ Washington suspended. Luke is out. All right, tell me the Mavs options, okay? Let's hear it. Come on. Tell me the options.
Kyrie, PJ.
PJ suspended, bro. PJ suspended.
He already served his game.
You lost 3 games, bro.
1 game.
It's 1 game? Oh, it's 1 game. Okay. So just so we're clear,
PJ Washington and Kyrie Irving are needle breakers. They're gonna help the Mavs. The Mavs are deep, right?
Quentin Grimes. Dinwiddie.
I can't. All right. You already know how I feel. You already know how I feel. They don't wow me, bro. The Mavs don't wow me. I'm just saying.
Great. Don't care.
Okay. So you say 50% not worried, but what's the other 50%?
I mean, obviously, we could lose some games, but like, I feel like we can win most games. I'm not saying we're gonna.
Right. No, I get what you're saying.
We like the other game against Phoenix, like it was like not the best game, but we clamped down on defense and kept Phoenix down, and they had Kevin Durant, Mr. Better Than Us. Oh, they have a big man. They have Nurkic, who's a big wuss, may I say?
Yeah, that's suspension though. Before we go into that, what do I think about Luka's injury to the Mavs? No Luka for a month in a Western Conference that's pretty deep. I mean, we saw without Kyrie and Luka in Utah where they lost, right? I believe they lost. Yeah, it was no Kyrie, and they lost. So my concern is, Isaac's mentioned that there's depth. I personally don't see the depth out there in Dallas. I really don't. I don't. I mean, you're gonna tell me that you're gonna rely on PJ Washington, Klay Thompson,
Hey, don't disrespect Klay.
Daniel Gafford.
I don't even know their fucking bench. That's how bad it is, bro.
Dante
Exum,
Spencer Dinwiddie.
then who?
Dinwiddie.
Then who? Then who? Yeah, Isaac. Then who? Yeah, okay.
I mean, for me,
Yep.
my concern with them, and this is the issue that I've had with the Mavs the entire year. Yes, they made it to the conference finals. Yes, they signed Klay Thompson. What else are you doing? You guys, they are not a deep team, in my opinion. Quentin Grimes does not move the needle. Najee Marshall does not move the needle for the Mavs. If anything, I think the Mavs need to go out and get themselves another 3-and-D wing. Should go out and after Cam Johnson.
Yeah, they go get the Mavs like Cam Johnson and they made a move for him. I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna give my flowers to the Mavs.
Yeah.
But I ain't give my flowers yet until they go out and make a move. That team is not deep. You think that team is deep? You lost Najee Marshall, bro. You lost Najee Marshall. You're probably your best perimeter defender. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. No, what's understood doesn't need to be explained, bro. Understood doesn't need to be explained.
So to go back to that, do I think they're a play-in or playoff team? I still think they're a playoff team. They're still a playoff team, but without Luka, we'll see how far they go.
I think top six. Top six.
I mean, I think we'll fall as far as maybe 6, maybe 5, but let's see the schedule. We have
who do the Mavs
Kings,
play?
Rockets, maybe Cavs, Grizzlies, Lakers, Blazers, Nuggets, Pelicans, Thunder, Hornets, Timberwolves, Thunder, Celtics, Wizards, Pelicans, Pistons.
So basically what we're saying is, I'm looking at that schedule right now. There are some dubs that you got to beat the Pelicans and you have to beat the Hornets, but you're going to have a difficult time, and the Wizards. You're going to have a difficult time with the T-Wolves. The Celtics are going to be a test.
T-Wolves?
Yeah,
T-Wolves.
They beat
We
you
talking
on
about the
Christmas,
team.
bro.
Yeah. After Luka got hurt, may I add.
Okay.
After Luka got hurt. Yeah.
Okay.
Worried about the T-Wolves. Worried about the Thunder.
Okay.
Yeah, not worried about them at all.
You still stuck on last year, bro. That's what's going on. You still stuck on last year.
I'm not worried, man.
You still stuck
I'm
on
not
last year.
worried.
Benny, are they a play-in or playoff team?
Like I said, the Mavs are a playoff team. I'm not discrediting them, but they're a second round exit.
Yeah, they just need to make another move.
Make another move. Yeah, we're not bashing them. I'm bashing them. I don't give a shit.
Make another move.
Yeah, but they're a second round exit in my eyes. Yeah, they're a second round exit, but they're one of those like dark horse contenders who could make a move, who could actually make it to the Western Conference Finals. Could, but they need to make a move. There you
Who
go.
the hell's eliminating us?
The Thunder.
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
So y'all really think you're gonna make it back to the finals again?
Yeah. They're the only threat. We got PJ. We'll kill the Thunder.
Hey, Bobby, you remember this guy? This guy really said the Mavs gonna make it to the finals again.
Who are they gonna play? Who they gonna play? Who they gonna play in the finals?
Answer
the
Celtics.
Okay.
If you guys make it
At the
out.
Celtics.
Speaking of the Celtics,
Yeah.
we going down. They lost 2 straight games. They lost to a Philadelphia team.
Yeah, that was brutal.
They lost to Philadelphia on Christmas Day. And but after that, they lost to who?
The Pacers.
They lost to the Pacers, but they had a 2-game skid.
No, they lost tonight to the Pacers.
Yeah, they lost tonight to the Pacers, but then they lost to then they lost to the Sixers, but then they lost to another team
Chicago.
Lost to Chicago. What is going on with the Celtics?
No, Orlando and Philadelphia.
Orlando and Philadelphia. They lost to Orlando and Philadelphia. Without Paolo
or Franz.
and Franz. Ooh. Wow, what do I have to say about that? First of all, I get the Celtics don't have they played a game without Kristaps Porzingis. Drew Holiday's been hurt, but this is the issue that I have with the Celtics. The age is going to catch up to them. Drew Holiday's 34. Al Horford's damn near 36, 37. Who out there on the Celtics is going to be that big, that backup solid big that they need? Because look, Kristaps Porzingis is Kristaps Porzingis, but outside of Kristaps Porzingis, who else is there? Luke Cornett, Xavier Tillman. No disrespect, but the Celtics, to me, their issue is their lack of fight. Like, they play down to their opponents. They play down, like, you lose to a team that does not have 2 of their best players. Like, you have to beat those teams. And the Celtics, it's just that mental focus, and that's my issue with them. That's why I think, in my opinion, do I think the Celtics may come out the East? Maybe, but part of me also thinks I think the Cavs might take the East. That's just my honest opinion. Yeah, I mean, like, I was looking over some stats about the Celtics' recent skid. I think that now they're 2-4 in their last 6.
Yeah.
Obviously they got a really good win against Indy. Big embarrassing loss, to the Bulls.
What are you talking about? They lost to Indy.
Well, that's what I said. They lost to Indy.
They won the night before.
Yeah, they won the night before to Indy. They lost tonight. Losing to Orlando and losing to Chicago. I mean, I think I looked at the Orlando stats. No, it was Philly. Philly was embarrassing. But when I sat back and I looked at the stats, fellas, listen to me on this one. I looked at the stats. There was not one thing that I found off. Both teams shot very similar from the field. They were at least 45, 46% from the field. They shot about the same percentage from 3, right?
Are we talking about Philly?
Yeah, against Philly. They had the same amount of turnovers. Boston had 5 more turnovers. But keep this in mind. Philly had 19 free throws. Boston was 8 of 13. They lost by 4. You make those 5 free throws, you win the game. What I think is going on is, like y'all alluded to earlier, is just their mental focus, right? Because everybody knows Philly's this year's wash, it's done. But I mean, Philly came in, they probably just stomped on Boston. Like, there's just no excuse. It's just Boston's not showing up. They're not playing at that championship level. In my opinion, I feel like they're taking a step back instead of taking that step forward, right? And that's just me being a Celtics fan. Like, as much as I love them, they gotta wake it up, because you've got Cleveland you got Cleveland who's gonna easily knock Boston off. You got a young Pacer team. Don't sleep on them. Yeah, I give them shit, but this team's actually not bad if they can consistently play at a high level. Orlando's up there. Milwaukee's they can't sleep on these teams, and that's what's the issue with Boston, is they're not playing to their championship level.
I want to give a quick shout out to the Atlanta Hawks. I would not want to face them in the playoffs either. They're playing with zero expectation. They're playing with house money. If I were Boston, I'd try to avoid them too.
Yeah,
That's
because I mean, no way pays attention to Atlanta, but I mean, Atlanta's just absolutely balling. Big shout out to Jalen Johnson. But yeah, it goes back to my point. You can't lose to these opponents. You got to take care of business. And that's what the Celtics are lacking, is they're not playing with that intensity. They're not playing intentional basketball. You know what I mean?
they're not. Definitely not.
If the playoffs were to begin today, you guys would be facing the Heat, which wouldn't be in.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the Heat this year.
Yeah, just right now, the 8th, the Cavaliers would be facing the Pacers. The Magic and Hawks. That'd be an interesting matchup. The Bucks would match up against the Knicks. I don't know, man. It'd be an interesting one out in the East. There's more competitiveness, I feel.
Speaking of competitiveness, Warriors have not been looking that competitive their past few games.
Wow, what a big surprise.
And Isaac, you mentioned something earlier on in one of our episodes, and I agree with you on this, but the Warriors got off to an exceptionally hot start. Let's be real. But their schedule was so fucking easy. So fucking easy. Now they're at the heart of their schedule, and they lose a Christmas Day heartbreak game to the Lakers. They go out, and who else did they beat? They lost to the Clippers. They lost to the Pacers. They had a players-only meeting prior to that Laker game. They had a players-only meeting before that Laker game, and they probably lose. The addition of Dennis Schroeder is a solid signing. The issue with the Warriors is what direction are they going in? It's the same. What direction are the Warriors going in? Are you gonna go full on rebuild and play the young fellas, or what are you gonna do? Because I think honestly, you need to trade Andrew Wiggins. That's just me.
I mean, if we look at the standings, they're in 10th now. They're 10th place. They've dropped from first, the top 5 seed, to 10th place.
10th.
They're only one game better than the Suns. Just dropping that.
It goes back to the same issue that we were talking about earlier. The Warriors, it's like the same thing with the Lakers. It's like they're both extremely talented teams. I'd give the edge to the Lakers still. The Warriors, it's like, you got all this hype, you got all this. You still have one of the greatest players to play on the planet, and that's Stephen Curry, right? Who doesn't need to prove anything anymore. It's just along the lines of like, now at this point, you're just playing for a spot in the playoffs, you know? And, they have really nothing to prove. But I did think that the Warriors were going to sustain this. I did, but, now I'm taking a step back. I'm looking, I'm kind of like, man, you know what? I'm not so sure if I could stand back on that statement. You know what I mean? I mean, they're 2 games. I mean, they're not far out behind out of the play-in,
I mean, when you trade for Dennis Schroeder, like a big piece, like midway through the season, you pretty much have 3 guards, Buddy Hield, Steph Curry, and Dennis Schroeder, who offensively are fine, but they struggle on the defensive, and that's the thing. Who's going to be your closing lineup? I'm pretty sure it's not going to be Buddy Hield. I feel Dennis Schroeder would be better along to finish games. He's more of a stout defender than Buddy Hield, who even Draymond called him out during a game. He told him to wake the F up, remember?
I remember that. Yeah, I heard that one. Yeah, I heard that one. Yeah, if I'm the Warriors, I'm seriously considering making a move. Like, if they want to go all in, go after Jimmy Butler. Go trade for Jimmy Butler, ship out Wiggins or Kuminga, and get some picks. Because right now, what the Warriors are doing, they're playing fire right now. They really are. Kuminga is just sitting there waiting for a contract, and the Warriors have not given him a contract, which I get. But, Jonathan Kuminga he's going to be that player that I think players will overpay for, which I get why the Warriors wouldn't do it. But the Warriors need to choose a direction. You want to go with Kuminga, or do you not want to go with Kuminga? Because outside of Kuminga, I don't see any other young player that the Warriors can build around. Brandon Podziemski, Trace Jackson Davis, nice, but they're not full of potential like Jonathan Kuminga is, in my opinion.
I don't know. We'll see what happens with the Warriors. I mean, when they get hot, but maybe they need to wait for Dennis Schroeder to pick it up, but I don't know.
It looks really bleak for the time being out there.
Got any last thoughts, Benny?
Not any more last thoughts on that. I mean, like I said, I thought the trade for sure was great. Well, I think the Warriors will kick it back into high gear. Speaking of kicking things into high gear, a team that is not kicking things into high gear as of recently is the Sacramento Kings with the firing of Mike Brown. Lakers are 4-0 against the Sacramento Kings this season after getting swept last season. So, fellas, what are your thoughts on the Mike Brown firing? Let it rip.
It's not entirely his fault. They had one playoff run where they were the 3rd seed. And what did they do after that offseason? Absolutely nothing.
Crickets.
They didn't do anything.
Cricket.
When there was a clear need for defensive-oriented players, and you continue to think, oh, we can outscore them. That doesn't work like that.
Yeah, Isaac, I agree with you. And also, too, They signed Jay Crowder, and he's sitting on that bench. What are you doing? What are you doing, Sacramento? You need somebody that plays defense, and Jay Crowder provides that defense, and you're letting him sit on the bench? Come on now. And that's why for me, Mike Brown, I'm kind of like, I like him, but at the same time, too, I question that decision-making sometimes. You play your players too many heavy minutes, and you don't focus. There's so much emphasis on offensive end, but nothing on the defensive end.
Another thing, another big elephant in the room, De'Aaron Fox switched agencies. He's an upcoming free agent in about, 2 years?
I think next season.
And he declined to sign a contract extension with the Kings this past offseason, stating he wants to wait and see what they're building because he wants to win.
Yeah, if you're a Sacramento, man, I mean, like, this is all or now mode, man, because you've got De'Aaron Fox, who's arguably one of the top point guards in the NBA, rotting out there, and you got a all-star caliber big in Domantas Sabonis, and all you have to show for is a mediocre third scorer. In my opinion, Keegan Murray took a step back. He's not himself. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if it could be Mike Brown, maybe he held him back, but I feel like maybe he just was having confidence issues. At the same time, like, at the end of the day, for the Mike Brown fire, it starts at the top, and it starts with the management. So I do think that management did have a role in, the Kings' downfall. Obviously, I will say that, but as a coach, you are the leader of the ship. That's what I'm saying. You need to be able to guide your teams and help them to win, right? And I don't think Mike Brown did it to his full capability. And that's what that's just the reality. And that's what I'm saying. Like, like the Kings, why are you going after De'Aaron Fox? Why are you going after Kyle Kuzma? Why? No, that he's another offensive-minded player, but defensively he's challenged. You have Jay fucking Crowder sitting on that bench. Jay Crowder. You're telling me you signed him just to sit on the bench? Come on now, Sacramento. And that's my issue with Mike Brown. That's my issue with Mike Brown.
I mean, there are rumblings that De'Aaron Fox could possibly be connected to the Heat. They are trying to trade Jimmy Butler. His teammate was Bam Adebayo. There could be smoke there somewhere.
There's also a possible chance that De'Aaron might end up with the San Antonio Spurs.
Either way, those two bigs, scariness. But let's be honest, the Sacramento Kings have failed De'Aaron Fox just like they failed DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah, they failed horribly. And I mean, they're still an incredibly young team. What they need to do is go out and hire and get some defensive-minded players. That's just the bottom line. That's why I keep saying Kings are an offensive-minded team. The only player that plays defense on that team, decent defense, is De'Aaron Fox and Keegan Murray. That's it. Other than that, no one else on that Kings team. Yes, and I thought, and I'm maybe I was a little bullish on DeMar DeRozan signing the Kings, thinking it'd be a great move. And there's just nothing that's been, I've seen that's impressed me with the Kings so far. It's too much one-on-one ball. It's pick and roll with Sabonis and Fox. Get to their spot. Yeah, obviously they're your stars. You want to get them shots, but at the same time, I'm like, there's no supporting help. Like watching them play against the Lakers last night. Domantas Sabonis gets into foul trouble. De'Aaron Fox is playing a somewhat decent game. DeMar DeRozan is DeMar DeRozan, but he's not much of a threat. There's nothing there that wows me. I'm not wowed with the Kings. Can I be honest with it for a second? Is it me, or when I was watching that game last night, De'Aaron Fox to me just looked checked out? I feel like he probably checked out because he was checked out that because it's kind of fucked up, but at the same time, it's business. You got to understand business is business. Right. It is. But I mean, at the end of the day, too, you have to go out there and perform. And De'Aaron Fox, to me, he didn't look like De'Aaron Fox that I knew.
I mean,
that I've seen.
They just fired Mike Brown. He had just done media and ran a practice and literally has to tell De'Aaron Fox, hey, I've been fired. You got a new coach. And De'Aaron had a connection with Mike Brown. You would think they would consult him. They just signed him to a contract extension. Hey, really?
Vlade Divac needs to get the fuck out of Sacramento. He's not doing a damn good job. It's like when Michael Jordan left the fucking Hornets, right? He sold them off. Good, because you weren't doing nothing. The basketball purgatory out there in Charlotte. Sacramento is getting dangerously close. If the Kings don't make a splash this year, if they do not get solved their issue, like just trade for fucking Cam Johnson, please. That would help you out.
Or fucking play Jay Crowder.
One of the two.
Somebody.
One of the two.
Somebody.
Yes, one of the two. But the Kings need some help, and nothing's being done. So I feel like if moves don't happen, if we're rolling with this same roster next year, I might be like, you know what? I'm just going to get the fuck out of here. I'm just going to see my options. And I don't blame them because the Kings are failed. Vlade Divac needs to be fucking fired. He needs to get ripped. He needs to fucking leave Sacramento.
He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
No, he doesn't. Get some help with Dummiez Sabonis. Get some help for De'Aaron Fox. Otherwise, fucking trade him and rebuild. It's simple.
They're too young, though, to rebuild. Like, Dummiez Sabonis is 28.
Well,
Keegan Murray's 25. De'Aaron Fox is 26. You're the Kings right now. If you're the Kings, you either play Jay Crowder or you go out and make a big splashy trade. You got to do something to help out on that defensive end.
I mean, when you say they're too young to rebuild, look what the Jazz did when they got rid of Donovan Mitchell. At the same time, I was like, why'd you get rid of Donovan? Rudy Gobert, I can understand, but Donovan Mitchell, was that necessary?
Right.
That wasn't necessary. So, like, look, I'm just saying at the same time, we got to understand that they're still so young, right? But at the same time, we don't want to waste their years. Probably that's the vision that Utah saw, and that's why they got rid of Donovan Mitchell. But that's what Sacramento needs to do if they don't want to fucking start moving De'Aaron Fox, because they're not winning anytime soon in that West.
But the difference with Donovan Mitchell was that Donovan Mitchell's Jazz actually got farther than Sacramento.
Oh, yeah. I'm not down that.
But the Kings have always been a first-round exit. Their issue is just defense. Defense. Jay Crowder, and I keep fucking harping on it, need to play Jay Crowder. Any other thoughts, guys?
Nah, man. I mean, I think I just let it all out. But Firefly Divac, Warriors are going to be okay. Celtics will be fine, as long as they pick the head up. Luka and the Mavs better figure some shit out, man. That's all I'm going to say. The Mavs better figure some shit out. Lakers are going to be good with the DFS trade, but that move does not move the needle. We just going to summarize this episode.
We'll make a move at some point. I feel like we will.
Who do you think the Mavs would trade for?
I don't know. It's too early to tell. We'll see. But I know Nico has a few cards up his sleeve.
What do you think the Mavs
tricks up his sleeve?
What do you?
I would like one more perimeter defender and 3-point shooter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Hey, it's a fire sale. A fire sale in Brooklyn. Literally, it's a fire sale.
I don't want to give up 2 first-round picks for Cam Johnson.
But I mean, you do that, then you keep Luka at peace and happy, because that's what it's about.
We'll see. I would like that. Maybe a smaller move. We get. Trying to think off the top of my head. I don't know who else.
Anyways, we want to thank you guys for listening to another episode of Dummies on the Hardwood. Please like, subscribe on YouTube, TikTok, follow us on Instagram, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Before we go, do you guys have any final last words?
Shout out to everybody showing support. You guys already know the drill. Continue to show the support, show the love for the dummies, and we appreciate the love that you all give us.
Also, guys, please leave comments in the comment section about whether or not you think Mike Brown's firing was a justified firing, or whether there's some other factors that contributed to his firing. Anyways, guys, good night.